Congressman Sean Casten. He became the first Democrat to represent Illinois' 6th district since 1972 after defeating Republican incumbent Peter Roskam in the 2018 midterms. Congressman, thanks so much for being with us. Should there be an impeachment inquiry against Donald Trump?
So with great regret, the answer is yes. I came here as a businessman and a scientist, and I wanted to work on climate change, and this wasn't why I came. But the daily assaults on the Constitution, what we know Russia did, and the failure of the president to allow us to do our job has, I think, made this a necessity.
Corrine.
Yeah, I agree with you, Congressman. Thank you for coming on. I have a question about what we've been seeing with Congress, in particular yesterday with Hope Hicks, and having these behind-the-doors type of hearings where, she doesn't answer questions and the American public is not seeing what's going on. Why do this? Why have these hearings behind closed door and not tell the story, not show the public, and have her deny answering questions just in public so that we can all see it?
Well, look, I'm not going to try to second guess the leadership on the various committees, but I think it's pretty clear that the Trump administration is playing a game of let's run out the clock and hope we can hide things. And look, I hope the president is not guilty. I would vastly prefer to live in a country that's true, but the only way we're going to find that is through an insistence on transparency. And if the president shared that commitment, he would be telling his staff to be more open with us.
The New York Times' Peter Baker's with us and has a question. Peter.
Oh, Congressman, thank you for coming on. You just said that the president was trying to run out the clock. I wonder whether you think the speaker is trying to do the same thing. In other words, if we put off a point of decision on whether to move forward with an inquiry so long that we get to the point where we say, well, we're in the middle of an election, why should we, let's let the voters take care of it. Is there a point at which you think impeachment becomes sort of less tenable because we are in the throes of an election to decide whether President Trump should be reelected or not?
Well, look, I'm not going to try to get into mind reading what other people think. I think she has a lot of responsibility and a lot of information that I don't have. For me personally, I think it is important that my voters understand what my thought process is, and I think that's true of a lot of members. And I think until we can actually have the conversation with the public about why we are so concerned, it's hard to get the public to understand the stakes of what's going on. So that's where I am, and I can speak candidly with what's in my own head. I don't want to speculate on what's in other people's heads.
Jonathan Lemire.
Congressman, two questions for you. First, what's the tipping point? Why today do you decide to come out in favor of impeachment? But more than that, as just noted, you're the first Democrat to hold this seat in quite some time. What are the voters in your district saying to you? Is impeachment something that's even a topic, or are there other matters more on their mind?
I don't think this is the top issue for the voters, frankly. I think there's a part of the job of being a representative that says you've got to represent your district, which is a pretty important piece. But I think no less important, the voters need to know where their representative is and how they think, because I don't think morals are negotiable. With respect to your question of why today, I came to this decision some time ago, but it's not lost on me that as someone who flipped a seat that had been Republican since 1972, there's a certain story that's there, right? And I don't want to put pressure on other folks. I don't want people to feel like I'm calling them to act in other ways, but I think it is very important for my constituents to know what I think, to understand the constitutional threat we're under, and to understand that we're at a moment where what's going on should not be partisan. What the voters think, what the Republicans think should not matter. We all took an oath to the Constitution. We should all care that Russia interfered in our election. And if I can't tell people honestly how I came to those views, then I can't expect to explain to them why they should understand the stakes that are at play here.
All right, Congressman Sean Casten, thank you so much for being with us. We greatly appreciate it. And that's pretty significant that you have